Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Clarence G. Rayo, and today I'm going to discuss Article 14 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution. We have three objectives here. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to. First is to analyze the provisions of Article 14 of the Philippine Constitution in relation to the following factors: right to education, the state's responsibilities regarding quality education, and the place of Constitution in education. Second is to demonstrate an appreciation for the values of patriotism, nationalism, and respect for human rights as outlined in Article 14. Next, and the last, is to engage in other community-related activities that may involve extension activities that allow one to create awareness on stakeholders of the need the need towards educational books or tutor underprivileged children. Let's have an overview of this lesson. Now, after the regime of the late President Marcos, late President Ferdinand Marcos Sr., um, Corazon C. Aquino replaced his position as president of the Philippine Republic of the Philippines, and after reviewing the 1973 Constitution, she saw some inconsistencies in the Constitution and came up with another and more revised um, constitution, which is the 1987 Philippine Constitution. It comprises 18 articles, and one of those is the Article 14, which is entitled as Education, Science and Technology, Arts, Culture, and Sports. Now, the Article 14 is subdivided into different groups. The um, first five sections pertains to education. Now, these articles bring out the details, yes, the details of the current educational system of the Philippines, and the topic of education as a major factor in the process of constructing a nation. So basically, um, um, this article defines what um, education system we have in the Philippines. No? So it defines the packages that pertains to the quality of education to be provided. Um, Arts and culture embracing the basis of the education to be offered, and the rights of individuals to education and in the states. Next is the first. Let's dig deeper in the first five articles. The first one is the section 1 of the Article 14 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, the right to education. Now, it states here that the state shall provide and promote the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels, and shall take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all. Now, it just states here that all individuals in the Philippines, all citizens of the Philippines must have a quality education. Um, Kaya nga po naglalaan ng malaking pera ang gobyerno para sa education sector, no? So, para ma-cater yung lahat ng pangangailangan ng mga mamamayan na mag-aaral or mag-aaral, no? So, to give us a quality education. Another steps na ginagawa ng gobyerno ay nagpapalit po tayo ng curriculum. Kung dati ay OBEC or BEC, Basic Education Curriculum, napalitan ng um, K-12 curriculum, Kinder to Grade 12 curriculum, and now is more enhanced or more um, what do you call this? Focused on the product curriculum, which is the Matatag curriculum proposed by the Vice President of the Philippines, which is um, Vice President Sara Duterte. Next is the Section 2 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, which is the educational system framework. Now, in this section, we have um, it just states here the um, roles of the government and the educational system. Now, the roles of the government ay magbigay ng libreng edukasyon. Una dyan, magbibigay ang gobyerno ng libreng edukasyon sa elementary at sekundarya or high school. Next ay compulsory elementary education. Kailangan at pinipilit ng gobyerno na magkaroon ng basic education or elementary education ang lahat ng mag-aaral. No? So, hindi ka makakatungtong ng sekundarya or high school nang hindi ka nag, nag-undergo sa elementary education. And lastly is, nagbibigay ang gobyerno ng mga subsidies such as scholarships, incentives sa mga deserving, no? Sa mga deserving na mga estudyante, no? So, yung mga estudyante na hikahos or hindi kayang makapag-aral, nagbibigay ang gobyerno ng suporta para sa kanila. Katulad ng nangyayari ngayon. So, sa K-12 curriculum, kapag ikaw ay galing sa public school at public high school at gusto mong um, mag-expand ng iyong opportunities at ng iyong experiences, gusto mong mag-private school, ikaw ay bibigyan ng subsidy ng gobyerno para makapag-aral sa private school. So, next is, so now let's proceed to Section 3 of the Article 14 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, the curriculum requirements. Now, in this section, no, sinasabi dito na mandatory na magkaroon ng courses or maging parte ng curriculum ang konstitusyon, ang pag-aaral sa curriculum. So, kaya nga po tayo mayroong UCSP sa senior high school or the Understanding Culture, Society, and Politics. No? Tinetake po natin yan sa senior high school. So, nasa batas po ang pag-take ng UCSP or ng Understanding Culture, Society, and Politics. No? Next, dyan din po sa Section 3 ang pag-foster ng patriotism, no? Kaya po natin isinasama sa curriculum ang konstitusyon dahil um, nag-i-instill po sa atin ng patriotism, ng nationalism, at uh, pagiging makatao. So, yun po, no? Nade-develop natin yung pagiging makatao kapag um, pinag-aralan natin yung mga bagay nito. Next is in this section, also in section 3, um, religion. Di ba po ang religion, iba-iba tayo ng religion. So, merong Catholic, merong Iglesia ni Cristo, etc. etc. So, um, nakalagay sa section 3 na ang religion ay maaaring ituro sa mga estudyante with the parental consent. May alam, may sulat, written parental consent ng magulang. So, ituturo ang religion during the regular classes na um, inilaan para doon sa pagtuturo ng religion. Now, let's proceed to section 4, the role of educational institution. It has the responsibility to acknowledge both public schools and the privates in the society, as well as providing reasonable monitor and control over the education institutions. It requires that Philippine educational institutions are owned mostly by Filipinos with 100 million pesos investment in equities. This institution uh, will seek to guard education against foreign dominations as espoused herein above. So, dito sa section na to, pinoprotektahan yung educational institution laban sa mga foreign dominations. Kaya nga, dapat mostly mga private institutions that is owned, dapat owned siya ng Filipinos. No? And in section 5, which is entitled as regional needs and academic freedom. So it is also important for the state to give a considerable attention on regional and sectoral requirements when formulating policies regarding education, as it protects and enshrines the right to academic freedom in the higher learning institution, and also the right of every citizen to pursue the course of his or her choice. So, as long as the course is not out of reach through unfair standards of the entrance. The first topic sa section 5 ay ang regional needs. No? Regional needs. So, nagpapatungkol ito sa mga pangangailangan ng iba't ibang sektor, kagaya ng sektor ng special needs. So, kaya nga tayo gumagawa ng mga hakbang para ma-cater yung mga pangangailangan ng mga different individuals, especially yung mga special needs, students with special needs, PWD. So, nowadays, ang mga kagaya ng mga special students with special needs ay idinadala natin sa mga regular classroom. Ang tinatawag natin ngayon doon ay mainstreaming of the students with special needs. Inihahalubilo natin, no, ininormalize natin yung case nila para mabawasan yung stigma against them. So, next is the academic freedom. So, ang mga institution natin ngayon ay nagkakaroon or nagko-conduct, especially yung mga state universities ay nagko-conduct ng kanilang entrance exam. So, that is their academic freedom. Magkaroon ng standard sa mga estudyante nila. And also, we have to abide those standards, those rules, because that is their academic freedom. And hindi naman hindi naman pinipigilan ng gobyerno ang mga ganon. Bagkus, in my perspective, ay dinotolerate nila yung mga ganon. Kasi nga para ma-uplift yung standard natin sa education. Next ay art section 5 is the last about the last topic on the education. Teachers, I have a question for you to reflect on. Why do we need Article 14 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution? So here in this slide are some of the ideas of the importance of the Article 14. First is promoting national identity. Since the Philippines is an archipelago, when we say archipelago, it is a country comprises of different islands. Now, since um, we are in different islands divided by the waters of the Philippines, nagkakaroon tayo ng tendency na magkaroon ng different cultures. When we have different cultures, we also have a different perspective on things. So, Article 14 provides and promotes a national identity. Pagkakakilanlan natin bilang Pilipino sa when it comes to education. Next is supporting cultural heritage. This article also underscores the significance of arts and culture and in education, knowing that these factors are significant to retaining culture together with the unity of the nation and within different groups in a given nation. So, through education, napapanatili natin yung ating tinatawag na cultural heritage or yung pagpapasa-pasa natin ng mga kultura from our ancestors to the generations. So, an example of this is through education, napapanatili natin ang pag-i-instill sa mga bata ng po at opo, pagmamana sa mga nakakatanda. So, those are the cultural heritage na naipapasa through education. Next is one of the importance of Article 14 is the addressing modern challenges as much as modern world still encompasses the themes of the human rights articles. Marami pa rin na lalabas ng contemporary issues like the issues of quality education, especially as an indicator of economic status kung maunlad niya ba or regress ang pag-unlad ng isang ekonomiya ng bansa. Issues of technological advancement in teaching, methods and techniques, and issues of learning styles that call for accommodation by the government. So, through education, um, nagkakaroon ng pagbabago, especially sa technological advancement. No? Through education, nagkakaroon tayo ng progress sa paggamit ng teknolohiya. Mas napapadali ang buhay ng mga teachers and also ng mga students. And through education, nagbibigyan ng idea ang mga kabataan sa mga modern challenges, sa mga contemporary challenges na kagaya po ng teenage pregnancies. This teenage pregnancy is one of the modern challenges or contemporary challenges na talagang mahirap solusyonan. So through education, through discussion, campaigns na ginagawa ng ating mga teachers sa education sector, na-educate natin yung mga students natin kung ano yung magiging effects and status nila if pumasok or nagkaroon sila ng anak, especially kapag bata pa sila. No? So, and also, one of the contemporary issues is the alarming number ng paglaki ng number na nagkakaroon ng HIV or STDs, especially in LGBT community. So, through education educate natin sila when it comes to protecting themselves in sexually transmitted diseases. So now these are the assessment questions. Let me read it to you. First is, what provision of the 1987 Philippine Constitution can be used to say about educational inequalities in the Philippines? Second is it important to use the information given the Article 14 to discuss what can be done concerning the modern day issues in education, for instance, the digital divide and remote learning? 3. Discuss the reasoning behind the Article 14 requiring schools to incorporate local cultures and histories in the curriculum, and how would this affect the students' self-identity and their communities? 4. What do you think can happen if educational institutions did not follow the provisions stated in Article 14 to academic freedom and curriculum requirements? The following slide, the next slide, will reiterate the discussions that we have previously.
Education, science and technology, arts, culture, and sports. It is reflected in Section 1 in the Article 14 of the Philippine Constitution, the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels, regardless of the differences and diversity of the learners. The state shall also establish, maintain, and support a complete, adequate, and integrated system of education relevant to the needs of the people and society. Moreover, the state shall maintain a system of free public school education. Scholarship grants, subsidies, and incentives shall also be available to deserving students in both public and private schools.
So I reviewed the report from the Guidance Office with regard to your application for scholarship. And I would like to congratulate you because you're now a full Colegio San Agustin Bacolod scholar. Congratulations!
In addition, the state shall encourage non-formal, informal, and indigenous learning systems. All educational institutions shall include the study of the Constitution as part of the curriculum. It is also stated that an educational institution shall inculcate patriotism and nationalism, foster love of humanity, respect for human rights, appreciation of the role of national heroes in the historical development of the country. The spiritual being of the students is also given value by allowing religion to be taught to the elementary and high school students. One of the important statements reflected in this section is no educational institution shall be established exclusively for aliens, and no group of aliens shall be compromised more than 1/3 of the enrollment in any school. The state shall take into account regional and sectoral needs, condition, and shall encourage local planning in the development of educational policies and programs. The right to academic freedom of all institutions is also stated in this section. The same right goes for every citizen as he or she selects his or her desired profession or course of study. The professional development of the teachers must be on the priority list of the state. Non-teaching academic and non-academic personnel shall enjoy the protection of the state. And lastly, to ensure that teaching will attract and retain its rightful share of the best available talents through adequate remuneration and other means of job satisfaction and fulfillment, the state shall assign the highest budgetary priority to education. The second branch of the Article 14 of Philippine Constitution is all about the use of our national language. The state shall take necessary steps to initiate and sustain the use of Filipino as a medium of official communication and as a language of institution in the educational system. Education is one of the important concerns of the state. Thus, it must uphold the highest standard to produce productive and skillful citizens. Next to language is the science and technology. It is clearly stated in Section 10 that science and technology are essential for national development and progress. The state shall give priority to research and development, invention, innovation, and their utilization, and to science and technology education, training, and services. Arts and culture. The state shall preserve and enrich the Filipino national culture based on the principle of unity and diversity in a climate of free artistic and intellectual expression. The last branch of Article 14 of the Philippine Constitution is sports. The state shall promote physical education and encourage sports programs, league competitions, and amateur sports, including training for international competitions, to foster self-discipline, teamwork, and excellence for the development of the healthy and alert citizens.